Hello and welcome back to From a Head Teacher's Perspective with me, Paul Urry. In today's podcast, I'd like to look at the quiet power of kind leadership. Why kindness is a misunderstood but deeply pragmatic leadership philosophy and how practicing it builds trust, well-being and culture. So, kindness and leadership. For some, these words don't sit easily together. Leadership is often described in terms of decisiveness, authority, strategy, clarity. And yet, in my experience as a head teacher, it is quiet kindness that most powerfully shapes culture, well-being, and success in school. But kindness is also misunderstood. It is sometimes seen as a soft virtue, nice to have, but not essential, a discretionary extra rather than a serious leadership philosophy. In truth, kindness is both profoundly human and profoundly pragmatic. In our school, I don't think there's a member of staff who has not been supported in some way. We've made adaptations so staff can attend important life events, not just family bereavements or emergencies, but moments that matter to them personally. A friend's funeral, a significant wedding, an appointment where their presence is important. We have been mindful of personal circumstances, recognizing when a member of staff needs flexibility or understanding to care for their own well-being or that of their family. We've considered small, individual requests, even when those requests take a little bit of planning to cover. Staff value this. It's noticed. It's remembered. And over time, it's what builds a culture of trust, where staff feel not only supported, but genuinely cared for as individuals. This isn't, though, about just being nice. There's a deep pragmatism here too. If a staff member's mind is elsewhere, distracted by worry, grief, or the emotional pull of an important event they are missing, their teaching will suffer. And when their teaching suffers, so will pupils. So offering a day off to attend a funeral that matters to them, covering for them so they can go to a significant appointment, honouring a personal commitment that helps them be respected. These aren't indulgences. They are pragmatic decisions that protect staff well-being and performance, and by extension, protect children's learning and the culture of the school. Happy, trusted, cared for staff will work better together. They will stay longer. They will give more of themselves because they know they are valued as human beings, not just as resources to be managed. So why is kindness so often misunderstood in leadership discourse? Because, I feel, it is often confused with weakness. People assume that kind leaders can't make tough decisions, or that kindness means indulgence, inconsistency, or even favoritism. In fact, kindness isn't about saying yes to everything. It's about saying yes thoughtfully, with genuine care for the person and the organisation. Kindness can coexist perfectly well with decisiveness, clarity, and high expectations. In fact, the best cultures are built on leaders who are clear and kind, decisive and human. Kindness also has a remarkable multiplier effect. When you model kindness as a leader, it spreads. Staff treat each other with more patience and empathy. Relationships between staff and pupils improve. The culture becomes more forgiving and supportive. Trust deepens across the whole organisation. And crucially, this kindness isn't reserved just for special occasions. It becomes part of daily life. It is in the way we listen, the way we respond to small signs of stress or fatigue, the way we notice the mood of the room or the needs of a colleague. So what does kind leadership look like in action? Here are some principles I try to hold to. I try to notice the individual, not the role, remembering that every staff member is a whole person with a life beyond school. See them not just for their job description, but who they are. I also like to offer flexibility when it matters. Sometimes a simple, yes, of course you can leave early for that appointment, has a disproportionately positive impact. You have to communicate care explicitly. Don't assume staff know that they are valued. Tell them. Thank them. Recognize their humanity as well as their work. Set clear boundaries kindly. Kindness doesn't mean saying yes to everything. It means explaining decisions with empathy, even when the answer has to be no. And model grace under pressure. When leaders are kind in moments of stress or challenge, it sets the tone for how everyone else responds. Over time, this approach builds a culture where staff feel safe, trusted, and empowered. And when staff feel cared for, they care for children better. When staff trust leadership, they work more creatively and confidently. When staff know that they can ask for help without fear, they are less likely to burn out. In this sense, kindness isn't a leadership style, it's a culture strategy. Leadership requires many things: decisiveness, clarity, strategic thinking, emotional intelligence. But above all, it requires humanity. Kindness doesn't undermine strong leadership, it strengthens it. A kind leader makes tough decisions with care. A kind leader protects their staff, not because it's indulgent, but because it protects the very heart of the organisation. A kind leader listens and notices, so that when staff most need support, they don't have to ask twice, or even at all. In a world that too often equates leadership with hardness and detachment, kindness is quietly radical. And as every head teacher knows, it's kindness, the thoughtful, daily, quiet kind, that really holds a school together. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please do comment, like and share. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.